This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion. The book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author Jay Allen, PhD. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Primus. This is the podcast where I teach you the business of being a safety professional and go through some OSHA compliance stuff sometimes. We get some guests. We do all kinds of stuff. But today's episode, I'm going to focus on the Safety Consultant 101, and that is a free 2-hour-ish, maybe a little longer, the workshop that I'm doing with you guys. And it's a workshop. You're doing some work, all right? So this episode, it's going to be from EHS Pro to Consultant, and it's pretty much the roadmap that we're going to be doing in that complete webinar. I used to do it for 4 hours. I threw in a whole bunch of different stuff that I think was causing some confusion, and I think, or not more confusion, more of inaction. So I want you guys to take action at the end of this and get you really ready, right? So honestly, what I've learned along the way, and I've been doing this for a few years now, And if you haven't known, I've been doing the Safety Consultant 101 for a little while. And honestly, what I do see is a lot of EHS pros, they kind of feel capped, some sort of pay ceiling or politics in the office or some loss of their time. And that sucks. You want to have your time. But, honestly, most people will think that consulting is just quitting your job. But when they get quit and they get their stuff done, and all of a sudden it's like, I forgot. I need to know how to structure a business. I need to know that other part. And how I started this podcast was actually people asking me the same question about consulting and how to run the business. So I was like, all right, I'm doing a podcast, so I don't have to answer the same question over and over and over again. And then I was able to get some help from really good specialists in the field and doing my interviews, as you guys know. So this workshop's designed to replace that overwhelm with a simple path. It's going to give you some clarity. It's going to help you come out with an offer. You're going to get some boundaries. And then I'm going to tell you what's the next step, all right? So let me walk you through the workshop section by section so you'll know exactly what we're building.
Sheldon Primus.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
All right, so the first thing we're going to do is something that hold on. First things first, welcome back. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm honestly going to take a lesson that I learned from the book Think Like a Monk from Jay Shetty. And this one was honestly a Dharma exercise is what he called it. So I adjusted it a little bit. And skills, no passion exercise. And it's getting your Dharma. Dharma is just what you're meant to do. So the goal here is just for you to do some sort of self-inventory. I chose to do this first to really help you out. So the skills alone, but that doesn't really equal your business. You got to know a few things. And also you have to also think about what happens if I need a second line of income, because you do sometimes, right? There's ups and downs, ebbs and flows with our business. So this skill set is something that'll really help you with it. So what I do is have everyone draw a quadrant in a paper, where you make a line down and then in the center of that line you cross over with a line across. So you have a line on the horizon and a line going up and down. And in one quadrant, I have them write skills plus passion. That's your flagship lane, if you would. Skills, no passion, that's what's going to fund your love. That's what's going to give you your supplemental income. Skills, no skill, no passion, that's another quadrant. So that's for future. That's basically the skills, no passion stuff. You just drop that. But if you have no skills, but you have a passion, all right, let's learn about this. Let's develop ourselves to get there so that you can have the skill and the passion. So at this point, you could stop guessing and you could really choose intentionally where you are and help your business. So right now, it's also going to be something I'm going to ask you to do. So I did an episode on this before. You could go back and try to find it. But just in your brain right now, just start thinking of, one or two realistic income lanes that you can test out real fast. So that might get your brain thinking. So get through. Oh, wait. Think it out. One or two things. Come on. Okay, so just write that down. Think it through. If you're listening to me in the car, you're not writing anything down. You're just thinking it through. So that's, again, the stay in your lane part, right? So once you get this, the next question is, how do you get people to trust you enough to pay you, right? So you got to have some sort of credibility, because that's honestly currency. You guys are listening to me for a while. You probably heard me say the simple phrase, and that simple phrase that I use all the time is people have to know you, like you, trust you before they could purchase with you. So know you, like you, trust you is the mantra. So honestly, what I'm truly going to help people kind of think through is first, let's think like the people who are going to be your target market, right? They're not looking for you as a potential. They want to reduce their own risk, right? So the best way for anyone to reduce their own risk is to talk to a buddy and see, hey, did you like this person? What do you think about them? So that's the proof part, right? So you're going to try to get some proof. Presence. If someone sees you and hears you and for a long time they're able to really try to see your work. Some people like me, I have a podcast, right? So people are actually looking at me doing a podcast and listening to me, not looking at me. Well, I guess you can. If you do youtube.com/@ with the @ symbol, safety consultant. That's me. So you could actually see me sometimes there. So yeah, you could see me, but most people listen to me and they've been listening to me for a while. So therefore, yeah, you could, get the feeling of what my capabilities are. So that's one of the things. But honestly, they have to see you, hear you in some professional setting for them to really start to trust you a little. And another way to do that is getting into the room with them, and there'll be some professional alignment somehow, a community, some sort of standard, some sort of continuing education, something like that. So that's, getting into place. That's another way. All right. So if you have two consultants, one has a proof of some sort of clear order and the other one doesn't, I wonder who's going to get hired, right? It's one of those things that becomes a no-brainer for someone hiring. You're going to want to reduce risk. So that's what we're going to be working on. So honestly, during this workshop, I'm going to have you try to look for 3 to 5 credibility bullets that you can put into your own personal bio, things that you've done, even with your current company. You may have done this huge project. That's part of your bio. You did that stuff. So make sure you work that in. So credibility, you got some credibility now, but if you don't have a niche, that's like you got the best resume ever, but if you don't have a job to apply for it, then that's not going to help you, right? So we need the niche now. So you're going to have your social proof. You know that you're going to end up figuring out your skills and what you have skill and passion with. So now the next thing that I'm going to work everyone through is trying to work on how to pick your niche, the thing that you do the best. For me, I make a lot of my business from working with cities and counties. That's kind of a niche for me, especially since I was a wastewater operator. A lot of those city and county wastewater plants kind of feel good dealing business with someone who's been in a plant, been in operations, and it makes it easy for me to make my pitch to them. So now for you, what we're going to do is going to help you get the paralysis and out of your actions and your attempt to find a niche. So your niche isn't a prison, okay? I want you to think of it as more of a marketing shortcut, all right? Because you're definitely going to want to be able to pick people who are looking for your type of work. It's like if you're in a room full of 100 people and someone says, all right, I'm going to give your business card to everyone here, all 100 people. And you're like, all right, cool, 100 people are going to have my business card. But if you know that 10 out of those 100 people are about to make the purchasing decision, and now you've got, you got the choice. How about that? You got a choice. Give your card out to 100 people or give your card out to 10 people who are about to make the choice. Which one are you going to really want to make sure that they know 10 people ready to make a choice. They're about to purchase what you offer. Ooh, I up this the ante there, right? All right, my answer to that one is, yeah, I went to 10 people. Forget the possibility of 100. I went to 10 people that are going to purchase right now. So that's what a niche does, right? It helps you. The best way to kind of figure out your niche is, what are some urgency right now? People may be experiencing some sort of pain. What about access? Do you have access, certain special access to decision makers? That's important. Proof. Do you have a proof story or something that you could tell? And this proof story of how well you've done and conquered a problem is the same problem someone else is going through. Repeatability is another thing that you can think of. What kind of service can you offer? Like a OSHA 10-hour class, and you have a very large construction company in your area, and you could do the OSHA 10-hour construction for them, for their workers, and you could do that, once a month or something. That kind of repeatability, fit. Long-term fit. I've had some clients for years and years and years now, just because we work well together and it's a good fit. So if you can start thinking about those things of, where's urgency? Who do I have access to? What kind of proof of work and successes do I have that someone else may need? Repeatability, some place that you could offer this service over and over and over again, and then just general fit, So those are the things that I would kind of work on. You're going to pick your top niche, and then I'm going to have you just kind of think through 2 backups too. And again, this is a workshop, right? So we're going to truly work this out. I'm going to give you some time to do it. We're going to move quickly, but I still want to have you focus on these things and give you some action items to do right then. So after we talk about niche, then we hit the heart of the workshop. Going to see how to turn that expertise into an offer. So that some of you may have heard my podcast a few weeks back about packaging your expertise, and I gave you a free expertise worksheet there. So we're going to do that one again, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'll work with you on that. I don't have the episode right now, so stop pestering me. No, I'm kidding. Just go ahead and go to safetyconsultantpodcast.com and just search the most recent ones. It's probably within the last 2 months. And or you could do a keyword search for package or expertise, and that's where you're going to find it. So honestly, with this one, I really want to help you think about, how to listen to the difference between helpful and sellable. All right, because that's going to help you with an offer, because you're going to be stuck in the free zone sometimes in your career. So you really want to make sure you break out of that, especially early on in your career. So as a new consultant, you have to, you don't want to undercharge, because you're going to be thinking about your previous job where you're working on the hour, and you're not thinking this one the right way, because if you're charging for hourly service, you're going to constantly be undercharging yourself.
We'll be back with more of Sheldon Primus and the Safety Consultant Show in just a moment.
Ever catch yourself thinking, I could do this on my own? If you're a safety officer with real-world skills, you don't have to wait for permission to build your freedom. On Saturday, January 31st, I'm hosting Safety Consultant 101, a free live workshop. In 2 hours, I'll help you package your expertise into a service clients will pay for and set pricing boundaries so you don't get stuck doing free advice forever. Register now at safetyconsultant101.com. Let's build your freedom.
We now return to the Safety Consultant Show. Once again, here's Sheldon Primus.
So you want to draw some boundaries so you know what's free and what's paid. And for free, here's a guidance that I told you guys before. Free is, you want to figure out what can I do for free and how do I get paid. So free is something about telling someone what to do, whereas paid is telling them how to do it in detailed steps. Okay? So once you think of how to do things in detailed steps, now you're going to create in your brain. It's going to be something you're going to have to put on paper, though. But what you're going to think of is, all right, how to do this. That's going to end up with a name. You're going to define your target market, who's this for. You want to make sure they know some sort of outcome at the end of this. List your deliverables, because that's important, especially with your proposals. You want everyone to know exactly what you're going to deliver, exactly what's required of them, your timeline, what's going to be the next steps. So that's the idea for your package. You want to make sure that you put some real defined structure to this package, and we're going to work on that. So you're going to have an offer ladder where you start with free. You're going to give value. It's not just junk. So free with value. Then that's going to lead you to an entry offer. After some sort of entry offer, then you do a core package. That's going to help you with some good money. And then for some people, they're going to want a little more. So that's when you offer your premium service or retainer service, when you get them back in, regular schedule. So what you're going to leave with during that is some draft of a client-ready package for you to go back and define, because we don't have a whole bunch of time for you to do that, but I want to get you at least started. So once you get your offer, you're going to have to figure out your pricing for that and the scope to make sure that you don't go nuts. I know I mentioned it a little bit with defining your offer and getting some structure, and that's going to be your scope. And usually people get burnt out by not having a defined scope, all right? So we're going to work on that and the pricing part. So what you're going to want to be protecting yourself from is scope creep. That's when you're doing this job and then this job, and can you do that? Or while you're checking this, check that. Then that becomes free consulting. Yeah, you want to make sure that you put in a package that offers the service, and then what's it going to be for additional service. And sometimes I do that with an hourly. So here's my project price. And if you need me beyond this project price, I'll give them a call and let them know, hey, we're going over the project now, or email. Let's lead you to the scope, and then or let's lead you to my hourly rate. And that's when I do use hourly rate. Is all right, we're done with this project. If you need me a little longer, assuming that it's not another project, but assuming that it's just one-off things, like stuff that you could cover with a Zoom meeting or just a quick walkthrough or something like that. That's when I throw in the hourly rate on top of the scope. So price isn't just a number, really. It's a boundary. You're kind of, that scope again is going to lead to the price of the service, and that's your bounds. Once you start doing more service, that's when you get more price from it. All right. Hopefully that translates well. That's why we're going to do this in a workshop setting, and I get more time to talk you through. But what it really, the scope itself is going to deliver. It's going to give you clear deliverables. It's going to help you with revising any kind of limits. It's going to be timeline you're going to give them. You're going to control assumptions, give some sort of change order language, right? Here's the end of the scope. If you need anything beyond that, then here's the hourly rate. So that's going to be the frame that you're going to do. And honestly, you're not selling in the task portion. You're basically reducing the risk for this company. So you want to make them aware of what that risk reduction is. So big, for instance, when you're pricing, let's say that one OSHA violation will be avoided. You want to look up the price of the OSHA violation for that NAICS code, and then you're also going to want to look up how much an injury would cost in the OSHA safety pays. And it's going to be different for those of you overseas. You're going to have different price ranges, but it's the same principle. We have inefficiency cost, and then you have some costs related to regulation and non-compliance. that's the dollar figure that you're butting up against. You're going to show your value versus those numbers as opposed to how many hours you worked. All right. So when we lock down the long game thing, and we're going to try to grow your credibility and opportunity after that, because honestly, every job you do is building a portfolio, and that should build your credibility. So you yourself now have to think of, how to professionally align yourself, if I guess I could say that, professionally align yourself and have some sort of development plan yourself to make sure that you could get more eyes on your organization and more eyes on you. So if that's the case, you need to plan for that. So you want to get into a professional community. You want to get into your key niche. Like for me, wastewater, I deal still with some wastewater people. That's my niche. I need the people who are going to be my clientele to see me. Also, you want to have one local network at least so that you could have a place to go if you're stationary. See, for me, I actually travel. You guys know that I'm full-time RVer on the road all the time, so it's a little harder for me. But if I was staying in one place one time, I'll join a local, I forgot, Chamber of Commerce. They'll do it. You get about pretty much a 60-second window to tell about your business in a group setting. So you got to be ready with those elevator pitch. So what you're going to leave with out of this workshop is we're going to help create a 7-day plan for you to join and attend something, how to introduce yourself, and truly make one helpful post, one helpful meeting, and connect with at least 2 people while you're there. All right, and that's going to be the plan. So let's do a 7-day plan. So it'll be motivation after you get done. So that's the plan topics for Safety Consultant 101. And if this sounds like something that you want, not everyone's ready for that. That's why you could go through my podcast and listen up to the podcast. If you're one of those people that could be really good with going through podcasts, then surely get your dip your toes in with the podcast stuff. But if you're ready to go beyond that and you got some free time, January 31st, which is going to be on a Saturday, just in case some of you people may have to, you may have to not tell the boss that you're doing this in any way, because you got to do it on the lowdown. You're going to want to go to safetyconsultant101.com. So safetyconsultant101.com and sign up for that. So safetyconsultant101.com. And then when you sign up for that, again, that's going to be on a Saturday. I think we're starting at 9 and do 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. And that's only because I want to make sure that we're going to get a break in the middle. And so the timing is going to be over to 2 hours, but the content will be 2 hours because I want to respect your time on a Saturday. You might be coaching Little League or doing something else, right? So going to make sure that works out for you guys. But Safety Consultant 101 is where you need to be. And once you get there, just go ahead and register. It's a free thing. So that is January 31st if you're available. All right, let's I don't want to sum up, but it's practical. It's live. I'm going to give you some worksheets to work with, so things aren't just in your head, that you can actually get it on some paper or digitally, however you do it. So I want you to join as best as you can, depending on your schedule. Obviously, I hope everyone can join, but you can't. So it's free, so you can have your freedom right now, starting your own business, okay? You gotta, I'm committed to helping people this year. We're still in January. That's one of the things that I really wanted to do. I wanted to help some people start their businesses. So I decided I'm going to do this first, even it's the last day of the month, You just want to do it the first month. So right now, think about what quadrant you are, where you have your skill and passion. You could do that. And if you want to, think about where you have skill and no passion, because that's going to fund your business. Next thing I want you to think about while you're going to safetyconsultant101.com, or you could go to sheldonprimus.com. I also have it there as well. Pick your niche. Get ready. Just pick one niche today so that you could start getting yourself ready for that one. And then here's another thing to think about. What's one thing you're currently giving away for free that you should be paid for? Okay? So those are some things that I'm going to leave you with. Again, you could go to sheldonprimus.com. I forgot to tell you that. Or safetyconsultant101.com and register today. All right. I said a lot. I wanted to squeeze in a bunch. Okay. You guys could do this. All right. Go get them.
That's a wrap for today's safety show. Remember, safety isn't just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.